attack, fast, fatal, hard impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact, don't ask, grab reactions, jacked, attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kure Show here. And now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Izuku Kure. Izuku Kure has finally let loose his inner Kure instincts. He's finally let go of the restraint he's been using to hold him back. And something has come to the surface. Something Deku was most likely never supposed to discover. However, thanks to the force and just the overall nature of the Kure, he has. He's overcome everything. He's been trying so hard. He got better. He left the Kure village behind and learned about humanity. He learned about sadness, anger, disappointment, and love. He learned about many emotions, many of which have humanized him. They've made him rethink the way he used to be, a virtually mindless killing machine. And Deku, he hates himself now. As you do have where, after beating his uncle and warranting at least 2 days off for the possible reconstruction of the entire arena they destroyed, it's going to take a minute. This final match will be postponed, and both the fighters will be able to use this time to recover from their injuries they may have sustained. Now, we do actually have Deku. The matches were over for the day. He just showered and went to bed. That's all he really did do. He didn't seem like he was in the mood to be disturbed or really even interrupted. And we do have the next morning. Deku, after waking up and working out in the room, doing what he can, heading to the gym and using some of their equipment, he does actually go to head to his uncle's bedside in the infirmary. Whenever Deku he does arrive, he does look at his uncle, before somebody does walk in behind him. Deku turning to see a doctor. However, the moment Deku does look in his eyes, he does notice that he's a Kure. Turning back to Ryan, asking exactly if he's going to make a full recovery. My young man, I don't exactly know how to put this to you. You fucked him up pretty good. That's what I'll tell you though. On a scale of 1 to 10. Well, let's see. Well, a normal person would have died from this. Would a Kure though? That's the difficult part. It's definitely going to be a while before he does get up. Let's see. 17 broken ribs. A shattered collarbone. Broken neck. That's pretty astounding, considering what he's been hit by. Multiple fractures in the bones of his arms and legs, and possibly a, lower back that might need some wires in it now. Yeah, so he'll be fine. The healing technique might take a bit longer than usual, considering what happened and the amount of blood loss, but other than that, most likely. Now, Deku, he does go to leave. He guesses that he'll just try to talk to another time. Since the doctor, he's going to do some stuff, and then Deku can just come back. However, Ryan, he does go to lean up a bit, causing the doctor to walk over and inform him that he's full of needles right now, and he should not move too much, or even really at all, since he might hit a vein. And Ryan, he does just go to lay back down, informing the doctor to step out of the room for the next 10 minutes. The doctor looking at Ryan before just turning and walking out. As he does understand, the man might want to talk to this boy about what happened. Most likely, Deku can get a promotion, Or he can become Ryan's second. That's what the man is thinking. He can become someone who takes orders from Ryan. And then anyone who does take orders from Ryan will basically take orders from him. Sort of a military type of way. And you do actually have where Deku he does go to sit down. And Ryan he does go from looking at Deku to looking back up towards the roof, making sure his neck is straight. So, you wanted to talk to me? How long? How long what? How long have you known that you were the evolution? Deku looking at Ryan. He looks down at the man. The man clearly doesn't have rage in his eyes. He does have more of a curiosity. I don't know. I've, well, dealt with my rage and shit like that. And then there's just, well, what happened today. I knew that with the removal and my other technique, the loan, combining those two was a way to evolve the Kure. However, it seemed that I felt something different. Deku bring up his hand, and Ryan does see. Deku, he was using the healing technique last night. He for sure does know about that. However, there is actually Deku's arm. It looks in a lot better condition. It's almost crazy. Is Deku, well, closing in on surpassing quirks? Ryan has tons of questions he wants to ask. And even then, experimenting on Deku, finding out what a next evolution really is, it's perfect. This chance could be right in front of them. But at the same time, dissecting another Kure, that's something that they really don't want to condone. Especially with the main branch being involved, it can cause a lot of problems. And Deku and Ryan are both well aware of this. That's why Deku doesn't feel any danger in revealing it. Deku informing Ryan that sometime down the line, his father found out, or my grandfather. Deku informing him that he knew for a long time, and he's assuming that he was protecting him. And he does get to turn back to Ryan, saying that since he's answered his question, now he has to answer his. What did he mean by that in the ring? And Ryan, he does just stare at Deku. He doesn't know if this place is bugged. However, he is cautious, as he does inform Deku that they are being watched. And Deku, he does take that aback for a second. Does he mean right now? I guess I should just explain. Something is going on. I don't expect you to understand, Izuku. But right now, there are things out of your control, and things you shouldn't worry about, that you shouldn't focus on. Grandfather, yeah. His death, it wasn't caused by me, I can assure you of that. He would have killed me the moment I tried. Really? Yes. In fact, if you don't believe me, ask your mother. She knows, well, a lot more than I do. She's seen me try before, yes, but grandfather, he really just used it as a test, showing that no matter what we tried, we could not kill him. However, old age didn't take him either. So what did? Like I said, don't worry about this. We have it handled. And whatever you're going to do next, just be aware. You might be in danger. The people you surround yourself with might be in danger. Ryan pausing when he did say that. And Deku, he is just concerned now. He's being watched. And the people he's with are being watched as well. So what now? Okay, they have the fact that he's in the finals. So they might try to use that against him. Try to threaten the girls and get him to give up during the finals. That's what Deku does think. And right now, he doesn't know. He's worried. He just doesn't get it. Why? Okay, I guess I'll find out soon then. Deku going about his day. He does go through things like normal. Up until we do actually have lunch. He ate breakfast with his family. And the girls, yeah, they wanted to see if Deku was okay. However, right now, they understandably are going to give him some space, especially with how he is acting. Within the span of 24 hours, Deku, he went from acting normally to turning into what he described to Kure. So they don't know if this is gonna just go away with time and then they can approach him and talk to him and just kind of just talk him down from there. Or they don't know if this is really permanent. While everything has come to light, it still does give them some concern. They think they know how Deku is actually. They think that this just might be a side effect of being around his family. And, well, all this violence. If he just leaves the island, he'll go back to normal. That's all they have on their minds. And we do actually have a bit of time later. Kirishima and the rest of the girls, they've all been looking around the resort and just trying to find ways to entertain themselves. Because of the delay with the fight, that's really all they can do. It's either stay in their rooms and watch TV all day or explore the island. And right now, they'd rather do that than stay in this large resort. Now, you do currently have where they've been out for a few hours. Right now, Kirishima and the girls, they're all walking past an area where they all are looking out by the beach. And they do wonder about what's really going on. Fact is, all this stuff is crazy, and none of them know how to process it. The idea that the, market or anything like this is manipulated just by a fight? That idea for an economy, it doesn't sound stable. In fact, it does sound very fragile. And to put into words this simple way this shit works, it confuses the hell out of all of them. Now, as Kirishima is looking out, you do have where she does spot somebody. And she does actually motion to someone. Guys? Her bring her hand up. Talking about how they need to come see this. She thinks that that might be Izuku. All of them running over to see what's going on. As they do get out from the table and see him. Now, they do just see Deku. He's sitting out by the beach. And he looks like he's just sitting there. He has his legs crossed, I can tell, or maybe they're in front of him. But then there's his hands. He doesn't seem like he's relaxing. His hands aren't to his side, they're in his lap. And this does somewhat concern them. As you do actually have where Kendo, she talks about how she's going to go to try and talk to him or see if he's okay. All of them should just stay here. And you do actually have where Kendo she does run over. As she does get to the beach, you do have where she does run past the right to Deku and go to turn to see him. As she does see that he does have his hands folded, along with his legs. Hey, are you alright? Deku not saying a word. As she does stand there. You know, if you need to talk to people, we're always there. Me especially. I know things are hard. Deku actually going to open one of his eyes. I don't think you understand. What is it? Something's going on. Something a lot more complex than I first realized. For right now, I suggest we lay low. Lay low? After what you did to your uncle, I'm pretty sure we're at everyone's chopping block. I know. More than you think. I'm pretty sure during the final match, people are going to try and use you guys as a tool against me. What? During our final match, mine and the other competitor, it's highly likely that they'll try to blackmail me, if you want to say that. They'll use you as hostages to try and get me to give up. And I don't like that idea. I'm sorry, when were you going to tell us about this? I'm telling you now, instead of just waiting for it to happen. Tell Bakugo, and tell Momo. However, tell her tomorrow and give her a quick warning. I don't think that it would be that much of a big deal. She shows her emotions in her face a lot more than you do. Are you serious? That's all you have to say to me? Deku actually turning to look at her before going to stand, as he does get right up in her face. You don't understand what's going on, do you? I understand some, but that's not the whole story, is it? You were scared of something. I don't know. The way I feel right now, the way my head is, I feel like something's been lifted, if that makes sense. However, I don't think that's good for a Kure like me. What are you even talking about? Now, Deku does tell her, as you do have everybody on the beach, they're staring at everything. They see that Deku, he's standing right there in front of Kendo. And, well, they can only think about what they may be talking about. However, there is one thing that does become surprising. Whenever Kendo, she just going to grab Deku by one of his arms. And after at least what they think to be pulling him in, they do all somewhat gasp, or even seem surprised. As Kendo shows actually shove off of Deku and go to walk away. Deku looking backwards as they already see the look of surprise on his face. As you do of Kendo, she just come walking by all of them. And they all do stare at her as she just go by, trying to catch up, asking exactly what happened, and what's going on, and if she really just kissed him. As she doesn't say a word, she just does inform all of them. Right now, a lot of things are going on, and that they need to get to training. So right now she needs somebody who wants to spar against her. Her asking if whether Bakugo or Kirishima would like to spar. And these two girls, yeah, they're actually kind of intrigued by this offer right now. Since, because of what happened earlier, they feel like they could use the extra training. And the idea of still trying to utilize both of their quirk and advanced abilities together. The idea of using both a quirk and this strange physical ability, it's about pushing your body to its absolute limit. And then the quirk, that could actually have some effects on it. They're still testing it out. However, yeah. Right now the girls, they're all concerned with doing that themselves. As you do have Mina and Momo. Both the two are left there surprised. Momo actually think that she might need to join those three since they might get in trouble or get hurt. And, well, Mina, she does just wonder, as she does talk about how she might need to go over and see Deku. And Momo, she does sort of just think, okay, manage Mina or manage the three destructive musketeers. She'll just be going. Now, Momo or Mina actually just go walking over to Deku. as after Deku sat back down, he wasn't meditating this time. He just put his, well, elbows on his knees and stared at the ocean. He's just wondering, why are things changing again? He liked how they were. He liked what he turned into. Her actually going to sit down. Let's just look at Deku, saying, "Hey, what is it? Um, nice haircut. Oh, thank you. So, are you okay?" Not exactly. I have a lot to think about. You do? Yeah. I'm just thinking about a lot about my childhood. And, well, a lot about being a Kure in general. Deku bringing his hand up to his heart, as he does inform her. The thing about being a Kure is strange. You have to deal with so many different things, and those just become your normal. However, things you don't often deal with, such as emotion, these become a foreign concept. And she does actually stare at Deku not only just a little confused, since he's using a bigger word, but she does sort of want to know more. She has this look of curiosity and confusion. As Deku, he does continue, trying to tell her that right now, he does think about being a Kure, and about the idea of what he's been told. Mina actually shocked hearing what Deku does say next. Him turning to her and informing her that he's thinking about leaving his family behind and running away with them. And Mina, she does look very surprised. She knew that Deku, he was learning emotions, but these type of emotions, these specific ones, they just they don't fit him. That's what she is thinking. Her bringing her hands up, asking about what happens if he does leave his family. Besides, if things don't work out, he can just come back. And, well, you know, I can't. What? I don't know. I'm learning more about my family. Even now. Apparently, my uncle says something killed my grandfather, not him. Someone. And I'm thinking. From what I understand, my uncle's preparing for possibly an attack. Maybe even a fight. And I don't know. If I get into the middle of it and help, a lot of people could die. I could die. And I don't want to kill, but I'll have to. And there's another idea. Make sure that's not my problem. What? You heard me. Run away. Leave it all behind. For once in my life, don't act like a Kure. Embrace this strange feeling in my chest. Turn to it and enjoy it. Just turn off the bloodshed for more than a day, a month, or in my case, 3 years. Now, this does surprise Mina. Deku, he's gone over some of that time with them. He's talked about it before. The idea of constantly being just pummeled into the ground over and over, and even overpowered by multiple opponents. And this whole thing about calming him down whenever he kind of went a bit too far with certain training, and even the whole Zen idea. It did seem like it took a lot, and I mean a lot of time with him, especially since he's a special case. Now, Mina, she actually just watched as Deku, he does just somewhat lean over, asking Mina if she thinks he'd be cowardly for running away. And Mina, she actually just turned to him. Deku, he doesn't have that stern look in his eye anymore. Right now, he has what can be best described as the look of somebody who seems agitated. They seem scared and worried. And even then, they just seem like they're so desperate for the answer they want to hear. And Mina, well, she isn't really, well, intelligent in the sense as she can answer a simple question or a complex question, my bad. She is smart in the way that she knows how to talk to somebody. She knows exactly what they might want to hear or even really just want to be informed of. And Mina, she actually does explain to Deku. She thinks that what Deku wants is to just go away from everything. He wants to get an actual life going. He wants to be normal like what he's seen other families do. And she kind of does understand what he's going with there. Everybody has their own sense of normal. However, Deku's, it's entirely out there for many, many people. What Deku considers to be normal, people consider to be extreme. And that does kind of make sense. From what she knows from more of Deku talking about Cure's, their minds produce different chemicals in the way of adrenaline and pain. It could be that Deku, he could be addicted to some of those chemicals. And because of this idea of whenever he does get into a fight, his brain produces them, that could be what does cause him to do this. However, over that time of peace, his whole resistance to it that was building up, it could have been stripped away. And it does take a minute for that to click with Mina. However, she does at least have this idea in her head forming. The violence could be causing what Deku feels. And the whole chemical thing. Now, it is a bit of a stretch, but it does eventually get pieced together like that for her. However, for right now, she just see it as, oh, Deku, he just wants to have an actual life. He just wants to have a normal family. And the way of you go home and you just relax. You don't have your guard up all the time. You're just, well, safe. Now, with that being said, she does tell Deku what he does want to hear. And it does actually still make Deku smile a bit. However, he does try to put his face flat, or just wipe the smile off of it. As Mina, she does see that almost immediately. And Deku, he does turn his head. As he does apologize for what happened earlier. Talking about how he just lost it for a minute. I know, it's all fine, but just, well, please try to keep it together. Now, Mina does leave. And Deku, he does go back to his meditation. As the next day the ring is built. And we do have where Deku, he is walking out to face his opponents. Deku, he walks out, and he does stand there. As while Deku is standing there, his opponent doesn't show up. And this does annoy him. The man's name is called. And Deku, he wins on a technicality. Nobody showed up to fight him. And this does piss him off. And Deku, he does just turn his head to look. There's a picture of him and his opponent. And Deku, he sees a man. The man, he would be fairly taller than him, even at his current height. He'd have a couple more pounds on him, probably more than 20. And, well, he seems to be a man with blonde hair, along with that crooked smile on his face. That was the man he was supposed to fight, and he didn't even show up. Now, while this does annoy Deku, Mr. Yaruzu, he's ecstatic. He doesn't have to worry about this last match. And that means his company's going to be on top for the next year. So, Deku, after everything is said and done, he does get his pay. And they do head back to the town, and they do go over the rest of the time. Meanwhile, we do actually have Deku. Deku still does have this idea in his head. However, he does go forward with one simple thing. He does move out of his parents' apartment and get his own. As he does get his stuff transferred over there, while UA is still about to start. And the next day, where Deku's lying in his new apartment bed, he does know what's going on tomorrow. The first day of UA. But it does somewhat give him some concern. If he's away from this apartment, there's a chance people might bug it. So he has to watch out for that. As Deku, he does employ a strategy that will allow him to know if anyone breaks into his apartment. With that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.